Hello everyone and welcome to the 5th round of the FRL Division 2 Championship. We are back once again after a very exciting Division 1 race. And now we will be watching the Division 2 guys as I'm breaking my headset. Good job. So give me a second to sort that one out. No, never mind. We're not quite good. One sec. Okay, there we go. So, as I was saying, we are back for round 5 of the FRL Division 2 Championship, as qualifying has just started. While qualifying has just gone underway, let's quickly talk about the race we saw about an hour ago, the Division 1 race. What a race that was. We had a four-way fight for the win, which unfortunately in the closing stage of the race went down to a two-way fight for the win. But yeah, the winners were separated by mere tenths of a second, so it was very close at the line towards the end of the race after some very close and competitive racing. All race between all competitors, actually. The whole grid stayed close that race, and we're hoping to see more of the same today. So we're here in qualifying. Blaze Scrap is the first driver to set a lap time of a 38.4, as actually other drivers are improving, including your boy Axel. I should call him Axel. I've been told that by Mochi to call him Axel, so I need to remember to do that. But Axel with a provisional pole position time of a 38.2. He was actually racing in Division 1 earlier today. He is a Division 2 driver who got the opportunity to step in the car for Division 1, and he made quite an impression. He actually won a Division 1 race last week around the full Constantina circuit. We're driving around the short version this week, and he managed to score a respectable 4th place in Division 1 this weekend, so a promising upcoming talent in the former ROBLOX League. And yeah. Meanwhile, I'm going to check if the volume is okay. I think it's a bit loud still, the mic volume, so let me turn that down just a little bit. There we go, that should be a bit better. Anyway, we are still watching qualifying with Axel in 1st place and keyboard mashing in 2nd place. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that. Well, I will have to, so I'm going to have to think of a way to pronounce that name. Zvet. I'm going to say Zvet. Okay, cool. Anyway, Zvet is in 2nd place with Jabil in 3rd place. And Blaze Scrap in 4th place. Once again, just like Division 1 a few hours ago, it's very close. The pack is very close together. And we've got a full grid for today. We've got 14 drivers present out of the maximum 14 drivers. So that's obviously great to see. In Division 1, we were missing 2 drivers. We were looking at Chirpy Bird right now, who's about to cross the line. Let's see if he can improve his lap time from 10th place. No, he can't. Maybe that was just an outlapse. He seems to be carrying on for another flying lap. See if he can keep it within the lines. Barely. He can barely keep it within track limits. Missing apex a little bit, turning a bit late through turn 3. And going through the middle sector. It's a very short lap around here, just 38 seconds as you can see in the timing table. Now we're entering sector 3, which is just one corner, which is the final corner, with a late apex. There we go, late apex, and try to smooth it out in the exit, uphill, running up to the line. Is Chirpy Bird going to improve? Looked like a pretty good lap. Yes, he does. He improves to 4th place. Nicely done right there. Meanwhile, let's see if there's another car on track. We see Jabil coming around the final corner, the championship leader, and let's see what he's going to be doing. He does not improve. Does he carrying on for another lap? Yes, he does. Meanwhile, Blaze jumps up into 4th place. That's the exact same lap time as Jabil, in fact, so very close between those 2 drivers. We're going to stick and ball with Jabil for the remainder of this lap. What's fun about this qualifying session is that everyone will be able to put in a lot of laps, because the track is very short, and it's easy, and we've seen a lot of drivers do multiple flying laps as well, actually. Of course, your first flying lap should technically, theoretically be a bit quicker due to having slightly fresher tyres, but Most drivers get away with saying 2 times, and look at that. Jabil improves by over half a tenth. By half a tenth, jumps 1 position up to 2nd place. Let's have a look on board at Blazecraft round. Look at that top 8, by the way, as I think Lepri improves to 3rd place, all the way down from something like 9th place, so good on him. Blazecraft looks to be on the good lap. It's all very close together, only a quarter of a second separating the top 7. Very close stuff, just like we saw in Division 1 earlier today. Going around the final corner, keeping it nicely within track limits. Is Blazecraft going to improve his lap time? Yes, he does. He improves to 2nd place. And he seems to be carrying on for another lap. Let's see if he can carry that momentum into another flying lap and maybe challenge Axel for pole in this race. In Sector 2, looking good so far, no mistakes spotted. Looks a little bit tidier than last lap actually, as Zvet improves to 2nd place, just half a tenth behind Axel. Coming out on the final corner, Blaze looks like he is going to improve his lap time. Is he going to improve though? Yes, he does, but not enough. He comes within the 10th of the provisional pole sitter. Let's have a look at the pole sitter actually. He might be on an outlap, he might be on a lap, I'm not too sure. Going around the 1st sector, looking good so far. First sector 2, braking around 80 meters, that looks good, just within track limits, excellent. Middle sector right there from Axel, as Zvet actually takes pole position by under half tenth. He goes fastest right now. Let's see if Axel can give him a quick response as he's running up to the line. He's definitely quicker than the blue car we just saw, and he crossed the line, does not improve. We're going to stick on board with him for another lap to see whether he will improve. That looks like a very good turn 1, a bit laggy from my POV, but that's just like that. Looked like he was using all the space he was allowed to do, as he's now running in the middle sector now. Ooh, that he makes it a bit too tight there, cuts the corner a little bit, and that's his run over. Now let's have a look up and down the order. Zvet is on track, everyone is on track right now, except for Dizo, who's actually disconnected right now. I hope he can get back into the race. Blaze does not improve and goes back to the pits. Now we're looking on board with PVB Pitbull. Looking good through the middle sector. Looking good. Looks like a potential improvement from him. 1 more corner to go. Brake around 70 meters. Going to the final corner, late apex, that looks really good, looks very solid from PvP. Let's see if he is indeed going to improve his lap time. No, he doesn't. And he slows down, that's his run over. Blazecraft does not improve right now, but he may have been on an outlap because he is carrying on for a flying lap right now, going through turn 1, looking good. Once again, it's very close at the top. The top 4 within 1.5 tenths, very close stuff between the 4 drivers, and Lepri and Blaze with an equal lap time, but with Lepri barely ahead right now. Axel really wants a pole position, as you can maybe see in the chat. Blazecraft just a very nice final corner from Blaze, just keeping it within track limits as he runs to the line. He does improve by 300ths, but it does not gain him any position, but maybe it helps him secure that top 3 qualifying position, which I'm pretty sure would still be a very good result from for Blaze. Now looking at Lepri right now, who is currently 11th in the standings, has been scoring points in every round, but he's always been towards the back end of the top 10, and so him being in 5th place would be a great place to be. He has the same lap time. I think he had the same lap time as Jabil earlier. Now, or with Blaze, and now he has the same lap time as Jabil. Let's have a look back at Blaze, who's carrying on for another lap. Meanwhile, keep an eye out on Axel and Zvet, especially Axel is really looking to improve his lap time and get that pole position, because it gives you an extra point for the championship. Lepri reported to have set a purple sector 1. Unfortunately, could not string that lap quite together. Let's see what Blaze is going to do. Is he going to improve? No, he doesn't. Meanwhile, does Axel improve? He's going to have just enough time to do another lap in this race, but first let's see what he's going to do this lap. And he does not improve. Let's take on board with, let's say, with Axel for those final moments in qualifying. We should see the first people being done. Chirpy is finished. Crippy, he remains in 7th place. Lepri remains in 5th. Blaze remains in 6th place for now. Svet is finished, and that's Axel done as well. He messed up his lap, unfortunately. What is Blaze going to do? He's been out for a little bit, so I'm not expecting big improvements, but he does improve, but not enough. He gets within a 10th of pole position. Good effort from him. Now we're waiting for Kodiak and Jabil to cross the line. Let's see, Jabil seems to be in a better lap time, yet Kodiak is pretty much abandoning ship at this point, and that's the end of qualifying. And that's pole position for Svet, with Alex Boy and Blaze closely followed in 2nd and 3rd place. Once again, just like Division 1, a very close qualifying session. And really looking forward to the race here. Right, moving on to the race now. I think I think we're missing one driver who disconnected earlier. That would be Dusty. So doesn't look like he's coming back, unfortunately. Wait, is actually a Division 2 driver? Let me check very quick. Yeah, he's a reserve for. Oh, he was meant to reserve drive for Hartman Colt V3 Racing, which are the red cars. The same red cars we saw, at least the same paint job as we saw in Division 1 earlier today. Axel rocking the same colors as he did during his Division 1 campaign. And straight off the bat, that's Jabil with a massive mistake, dropping down the order to dead last place in this race. And meanwhile, let's have a look back at the front. It's Svet in the lead by a very small margin, with Axel looking to win this race. Has he raced before in... yes, he got a 3rd place and a 2nd place last time out in this division, so he's in 5th in the championship. He could walk away from this race being in 3rd place in the championship, as the 3rd place only 2 points ahead of him. He is quite far off the championship leader, though, who is actually limpering in 11th right now. Jabil with a very poor start, not good at all for our championship leader. And Svet, his closest rival, with 23 points behind, could close that gap to just a few points if he can keep this up. But we, of course, in the very early stages of this race. Right now we're looking at a 3-way battle for the lead, as Axel gets a pole run out of the final corner. It's between Hartman Colt V3 Racing and Racing Star. So those two are fighting it out right now. And looks like Svet has got the lead for now. It's a 3-way battle, all keeping their positions pretty much. It looks like Crippy behind might want to get involved in the battle for P3. But it's all to play for up and down the order. Looks like Jabil is trying to recover. He's up to 9th place now in this race. Kodiak seems to be dropping a few positions. Meanwhile, Svet and Axel, who's just set a fastest lap of a 38.2, nearly matching pole position pace. Actually, pole position, that's better than pole position, actually. That's because that's 200 faster than the pole time we just saw. So we're already going quicker than what the pole time was, which is great to see, as my headset is being a bit silly. Not particularly good. Anyway. We are still watching the battle for first, as Axel is trying to take the lead away from Svet. They're pretty much going neck and neck right now. Looking further back, let's see. I'm pretty sure those guys are going to keep battling for the foreseeable future. Let's have a look at the mid-pack quickly, which is very close and very competitive, as there's a... I don't know how many cars scrapped for P5 now. And we see 4 cars being inseparable with each other. We've got the... Asia Blue Lightning cars, and we've got the Headless Racing cars. We've got all sorts of cars mixed up in this, and we've got one Lucky Star car in the middle of all of that. So a lot of blue cars. There's a lot of blue in this grid. There's 3 teams that are running blue colors, which are the Jabil Racing outfit, who are rocking the Magnus livery. with the Halo car, with the blue and grey car. We've got the Asia Blue Lightning team, who is rocking the Spectre Racing livery, driven by Regional Veloce and I think that's Regional Veloce, those guys. No, I'm off. That's not Blue Lightning, that is Hellas Racing. So my mistake, Hellas Racing are the ones who are rocking the Spectre Racing livery. And then we have got the Asia Blue Lightning team. No. Okay, my bad. I'm a bit blind right now. This is Asia's Blue Racing, if I am correct. Yes, this is Asia's Blue Racing. They are rocking this car, the RCM 1. Then we've got Jabul Racing, who are rocking the Magnus livery. Regional Veloce is driving. He's supposed to be rocking a different car, actually. He's driving the wrong car. He's meant to be driving the Red Hartman Colt car. He's Axel's teammate, so that's not ideal. We're going to gloss over that, but that will be a warning after the race. Got a bit confused right there. Meanwhile, Axel still being haunted by the two Racing Star cars, with Zvet and Blaze chasing him down like wild dogs for the lead in this race. Axel hanging on for now. Pretty much the situation at the front seems to be pretty stable right now. Axel running a bit wide. That allows Zvet to close the gap, and they're going to both take the lead. Both Racing Stars getting past Axel now to take the lead in this race, while Axel still in second. They're pretty much even going into turn 1. They all avoid a corner cut, so good job by all three guys. Meanwhile, looking back, we see two pink cars fighting out. A few cars running wide though. There's Crippy, who was falling up quite a bit. Last time I checked, he was like in 4th place. So Crippy has lost quite a bit of time. He's now in this massive midfield scrap with the other Hartman car, who's rocking the Spectre livery for some reason, and the Lucky Star cars. With the Lucky Star cars fighting it out. Meanwhile, we've got another 2 sets of Leprias my headsets being shit again. We've got 2 Spicy Racing cars at the back end of this field in 10th and 11th place respectively. And if you could excuse me for a moment, and I'll try to fix my headset again. Time for a new headset, I'm afraid. There we go, that sorted out for the hopefully the remainder of the race. Don't count on it. Anyway, back to racing. We see an overtake taking place for 2nd place. It's Blaze overtaking his teammate as Axel has managed to get a small breakaway from the Racing Star outfit. Racing Star guys squabbling amongst themselves for 2nd place right now, as Crippy exclamating no, apparently having lag issues. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I'm trying to wrestle with my headset. Crippy really falling like a log all the way down the order. He's complaining about having lag issues. That's really unfortunate to see. He was looking strong heading into this weekend. Now falling down the order. Lepri, after a pretty strong qualifying performance, also a little bit more down the order. Back at where he towards the back end of top 10, where we've seen him for most of this season. Regional Veloce losing him a few places. Meanwhile, he's squabbling with Blaze Scrap for 6th place in this race, trying to recover after what seems to be a poor qualifying performance. Let's see what. Looks like Jabil has recovered nicely, and he's now closing in on Zvet, who has made a couple of mistakes. We've missed that. But Svet is now under pressure from Jabil for third place, the championship leader, looking to make up as much ground as he possibly can, maybe even get back fighting for first place. Anyway, we are on the 15th lap of the race. We should be approaching pit window shortly. We saw in Division 1 everyone except for one driver doing the two-stop. Unfortunately, we did two drivers doing the one-stop, one of whom made an early one-stop, who pitted early for their first and only stop, which I wouldn't say is optimal, and the other driver unfortunately disconnecting before he could execute his one-stop strategy. I'm interested to see how this is going to be going. Oh, he's over for Headless Racing, okay. And the spreadsheet is a bit outdated. Okay, there we go. Or I just looked blatantly wrong, I'm not sure. I'm not going to worry about that right now. So, my bad. Region of Loche is driving for Hellas Racing in this race rather than Hartman Court, who are unfortunately missing a driver. That would be Dustizo, who disconnected before the race and couldn't rejoin in time. That's a mistake from Axel. Not sure what happened to him. That's a big mistake, as he's now 1.5 seconds behind Blaze. Very unfortunate to see. He's now trying to recover, trying to get his composure, his act back together in order to chase down Blaze for the lead of this race. But yeah, about Region of Loche, yeah, the spreadsheet is showing him. I was confused with the spreadsheet because it showed him in different color. My bad, I'm not going to make that mistake again. Anyway, back to the race. Axel unfortunately has dropped down to second place and is now under pressure from Zvet. Zvet in third place with the two. Early pit stop right here. PvP Pitbull in to make his first out of 2 pit stops. He's going for the undercut here. Let's see if he can do a good pit stop. I think he will. There we go. Good pit stop. Anyway, appears that Flying has disconnected or just retired from the race. Not sure what happened there. That will be our first DNF of this race. Meanwhile, we are watching Regional fighting it with Lepri, who seems to be trying to gain a few spots in this race, fighting for virtually 7th place right now. Let's see if anyone else is going to come in. Lepri is in, there's a couple of other cars in, there's Blaze Crab, there's Blaze in, and Chabil's in the pits with a seemingly somewhat slow pit stop. I think he's lost a bit of time. Wait, Blaze was the leading racing star, so I'm not sure how that's going to unfold after everyone has made their pit stops. Meanwhile, Axel's back in the lead, as passed. No, he was still ahead of Zvet. I'm confusing the two racing star cars. Axel's carrying on, and Zvet is coming into the pits and committing to a 2-stop. Zvet in the box right now, his car being slightly lifted. There we go, good stop for him. Let's see where he's going to come out relative to his teammate. His teammate's already going to get past him. If I look at the mini-map, there we go, he's passed. And that's quite a big gap, and Zvet might lose another position to Jabil. Yes, he does. Jabil gets past now for what would be never mind. Jabil makes a mistake, so Zvet maintains third place for now, but still under pressure from the championship leader behind. And looking for further towards the back, we see Lepre in 7th place, pulling away from regional blockchain. Not too much going on there. Wolf's here doing his own job doing the job right now. Not really under pressure from anyone. The guys towards the back end of the top 10, still relatively close, but not close enough so that we see for any overtaking. It seems like the field is a bit spread out right now, a bit different from Division 1. We are looking at Jabil running wide, coming out the final corner in Sector 1, trying to chase down Zvet to get back on the podium. See if we can achieve that. Your boy staying out. It looks like Axel is trying to go for a one-stop in this race. He's not pitting anytime soon by the looks of it. So he is committing to a one-stop with that. That's going to be very interesting to see because Zero Denial almost made it work with a not optimal strategy, so who knows, maybe Axel's going to pull some magic out of the bag. Perhaps the one stop will prove to be supreme. We will see about that. Meanwhile, we've got Bill still in 4th place trying to chase down Zvet up ahead, our championship leader who has won 3 races. He has won the first 3 races of the season and then came home with a disappointing 4th place, the position where he's in right now actually, last race. So he still has, because of a strong start to the season, he has a 23-point lead over his championship rival who's right ahead of him actually, Zvet, who is in 2nd place right now. So those two guys are very close to each other, both on track and in the championship, as they are each other's rivals right now. Blaze, Zvet's teammate, is sitting in 3rd place in the standings with 43 points, which is 32 points behind Jabil and 9 points behind his teammate Zvet. And that's our top 3. For those new to FRL, the top 2 is what really matters in this division, because if you land a never mind, top 3 position, that should be top 3. I need to correct that on the spreadsheet. The top 3 in Division 2 get promoted to Division 1. Let me fix that on the spreadsheet very quickly. There we go. That's sorted. There we go. Yeah, so the top 3 in Division 2 make it through to Division 1 next season. They get a free pass to race in Division 1 unless they don't feel like they're going to have to pace. Then that can be discussed, of course. That a driver like Jabil last season, he was actually quite far. He wasn't 3rd, but he was quite far off the top 2 in the championship, so he opted to stay in Division 2, not feeling confident about his pace. But I must say, he has had an incredible start of the season, and with that pace he could have raced in Division 1. He had the pace to do that, but right now it looks like he's dropped back a little bit in 4th place, not showing the same dominance as he did in the opening stages of the season. Blaze is in 2nd place. Axel, you can see the gap dropping, but not by that much. He still has a pretty healthy lead in 1st place, doing the one stop, so it might work out for him, the one stop. And we don't have punctures in this game, and there's just a ceiling to how much your tires can be worn. Which, even if you do a one stop, then you shouldn't be able to reach that maximum tire wear of 100%. Watching Wolf run a little bit wide there. Not too much going on in terms of battles. I guess Jabil and Zvet are the 2 cars close on track right now. Scrap that. We've got Lepre trying to chase down Wolf. Lepre has lost a bit of ground. He was in P7, P8 last time we checked with him. And now he is in P9 trying to chase down the cars ahead of him. Let's stick on board with Lepre for a little bit as he's trying to chase down Wolf up ahead for 8th place. Wolf, who is reserve driving today, making his first Division 2 appearance this season. Driving for Asia's Blue Lightning. I'm actually going to check if that's correct. Yes, that's correct. They are driving the Asia's Blue Lightning team. Meanwhile, looking at the gap in front, Axel still 6 seconds. It was 13 seconds. The gap is down to 6 seconds. So I think, looking at how the gap is progressing, and Axel should be going into the pits this lap if he wants to do that one stop optimally, which would be the optimal way to go. Pitting just past the halfway point. He still has a gap of 5.5 seconds. Well, that gap is dropping quite a bit now. Once he pits, he's going to have the upper hand for the next 10 laps, while he will be in fresh tires. So I don't know. This could actually work for Axel, but we will see on that because that gap is dropping alarmingly quick right now. I think Axel might have had a pretty poor lap as well. Let's see what Axel's going to do. He's going to carry on for another lap in this race. Why are you doing that, Axel? You should be pitting now. You're past the halfway point. You should be pitting in for new tires very soon. I hope he's going to do that for next lap because right now he is really hurting himself on those old tires, I'm afraid. Meanwhile, we see Jabil being chased down. He has lost some ground to P3, unfortunately, and now he might get pressured by his teammate PvP, who is in 5th place, with place grab not too far behind either in 6th place. Let's look at the minimap. Is Axel going to come into the pits? No, he doesn't. I'm genuinely surprised at that. Is he, what is he up to? Good question. Is he going to, he's going to stretch his stint even longer? I'm not sure why or how. Perhaps he found a faster way to execute the strategy rather than pitting at the halfway point, but he's really stretching his tires in this race, carrying on for another lap. And that gap is falling right now. It's only 1.2 seconds now. It was 5 seconds just a few laps ago, so he's really struggling on those old tires, and he has to pit soon, I reckon, otherwise it's not going to work, and he doesn't. He stays out for another lap in this race. What is he up to? Axel, what are you up to in this race? You're really staying out that long. Meanwhile, PvP, Blaze and Jabil very close together for 4th place. Looks like PvP is going to be able to get past his teammate, who is the championship leader for 4th place. They're pretty much going neck and neck at this point. Blaze chilling that a little bit further back, also looking to get before. That might be a corner cut from Blaze, which will cost him a little bit of time. Is Axel going to pit? He's barely in 1st place right now. I'm looking on the mini map at the same time while watching the battle for 4th place. Axel, what are you going to do? Are you going to pit? No, he doesn't. He stays out for yet another lap. He's really stretching his tires in this race. Not sure why though, which seems like suicide to me to stay out for that long in this race. Surely that's going to ruin his shot, because I think with the way tire wear works, because the tires wear exponentially, which means the longer you stay on those tires, the faster your lap times are going to be dropping, the faster your grip will decrease. So that means that in theory you should be best off pitting at the halfway point, but he has lost the lead now. What is he going to do now? Yeah, he finally comes into the pits very late, in fact. This is interesting though, because now he's going to be on slight correction in the pits. That's cost him a few tenths. He stayed out for very long right there. I think that's not the optimal way to go, but we'll see about that as he will shortly come out of the pits. He's going to come out just ahead of, behind Regional Veloce. He may come out ahead of Wolves here, but he has got some ground to make up to. He should be able to comfortably bring those tires to the end now, as he's done a very long first stint. But we'll see on that. He comes out on track. Let's see where he is. Yes, he is ahead of Wolves here. He's in 7th place right now. Quite far back from the cars we are watching right now, battling for, which is 3rd place now. Still fighting out PvP against Jabil. PvP Pitbull, who has had a decent season up to this point. He managed to get 2nd place in the first 2 races to make it a 1-2 for the Jabil Racing team. Right now they are fighting for the final spot on the podium rather than for the win. So PvP also strong start of the season, then dropped off since round 3, only managed to get that 6th place 2 times. So he dropped off in the last 2 rounds, but now it looks like he's going to be fighting again for a podium position, which is of course great to see for him. And that could bring him up to 3rd place, as he's only 1 point behind Blaze in 3rd. No, never mind, Blaze is leading the race, so he's not going to jump Blaze. Blaze is going to increase the gap at this rate. But yeah, only 1 point separating P3 and P4, and 2 points separating P3 and P5. Axel Gaming being in P5. Wonder how he's going to do with that 1 stop once Blaze and Zvet come in, which is in a couple of laps time. Axel should be back in the lead, but as there's a car off, there's Wolf up. Often what happened to him? He got stuck. I think he might have gone a screen freeze, then went straight on, but now he's stuck in the wall. What happened there? I think he's out of the race now, because I think he's stuck. I think he's stuck in the wall. Oh, he's moving. He isn't stuck in the wall. What happened there? That must have been a massive lag moment for him. He glitched, yeah. Glitched how? Did he get a massive screen freeze or... Okay, that's his race ruined, unfortunately. That leaves, that promotes Bacons up into the points. As Lepre is also retired from the race. I just noticed, that's unfortunate to see. Lepre running solidly in the top 10, and now we've gone from 13 drivers down to 10 drivers in this race. 14 if you count Dusty, who unfortunately disconnected during qualifying and wasn't able to make it back in time. Jabil seems to have the better of his teammate right now. That's the lap Spectre, not Spectre, Heller's car of Bacon's, who's just left. I thought for a second that was Foloce, who is now battling with a surging Axel, who is on new tyres, of course. The leaders are pitting now. Blaze comes out just a little bit behind Axel, so I'm surprised that's pretty close to Axel actually. And surely Blaze is going to get past Axel soon, with Svet a little bit further behind. So right now, Axel is leading this race virtually, since he is going till the end, but he's on 5 lap all the tires and the cars behind him, so he should be at a quite... So towards the end of the race, he's going to be at a bit of a disadvantage. He is already at a disadvantage, I reckon, by a few times, as Regional Veloce peels into the pits to make his second and final pit stop. And that promotes Axel up to 1st place, as everyone is making their second pit stop now. Blaze actually already fighting with Axel for 1st place. See how that's going to unfold. Of course, when you're battling an off-car, it's going to make your vision a bit worse. It's going to really put you under pressure to make sure you're ahead of the other car. It may help you to push a bit harder around the track. It could benefit you. It could also punish you or give you a disadvantage, but pressure you into making more mistakes. As the 2 cars in the lead are going neck and neck right now. Separated by nothing right now. Blaze running a bit wide. Hitting the apex a bit better than Axel does. They're still pretty much even at this point. I reckon Axel can hang on to the back of Blaze for a good amount of laps, despite being on all tires, keeping up with Blaze through the slipstream. Meanwhile, we've got another battle going on between Blaze and Jabil. I think Jabil has just overtaken Blaze. I'm not sure if Blaze is on an alternative strategy or not. I think they're on the same strategy, so this may be a legit battle for Jabil. I'm actually not sure, because I haven't seen Blaze up this high. Meanwhile, going back to a bit further to the back, as Wolf has joined the commentary box now. Hello.
Alright, hi Wesley. So about my race, apparently something happened. I couldn't reverse. It just suddenly accelerated with, and I did not like press anything. It was a very weird bug. Because when I'm on my controller, it was I was accelerating. I was trying to make the corner. Then I suddenly got a huge acceleration for some apparent reason. So yeah, that was pretty much my race ruined there.
For some reason, I can't hear the joining sound on Discord. Someone joins voice chat. I can't hear that, unfortunately. So that's why I didn't notice you joining, and I wasn't looking at the chat either. So it took me a while to notice that you were in the commentary box with me, but it's good to have you here.
Alright, so I think we have a battle for ninth place between Codec and Codes. Looks like it's guaranteed points here in this race.
Kurt Baker's being close to being lapped by the cars behind him, who are Blaze and Axel, who's dropping back a bit. I was hoping he was able to hang on to Blaze. He did a very weird strategy, Wolf. He did a one stop, but he spent 35 laps on his first set of tires, which, in my opinion, is a bit too long, for my judgment. But because I think if he pitted at a normal time, he might have still been in the lead, and he might have actually had a better shot at winning the race. But that's just my judgment. I'm not sure what his thought process was behind pitting as late as he did, as he's now surely out of contention for the win now. He might be able to hang on to onto a podium, as Jabil is 8 seconds behind him. But yeah, interesting strategy choice by Axel.
Now I was watching the stream before I retired from the race. I was pretty shocked by Axel's strategy. It's clinically not possible for someone to go on 35 lap old tires. It's very weird, and it gives you such a huge disadvantage when it comes to tire life and the grip. So yeah, I think I think Blaze is trying to give Jabil a run of his a run for it.
Run for his
So
money.
Yep, he's trying to give Jabil a run for his money. He's actually less than a second. He's less than a second in front of a Blaze, and Jabil trying to break the toe, I believe. Yes, he is trying to break the toe. So Blaze, he's actually doing pretty well. He's in running the top 5, which is pretty impressive.
Yes, Blaze made his first appearance in Division 2 only last week, where we were racing around the full layout of this circuit. He picked up a couple of points. He got 9th place, but now it looks like he's going to better that by being in a solid 5th place right now. Actually didn't really keep an eye on him, and it looked like Blaze kind of came out of nowhere, like he was not fighting for the top 5 or something. It was between Jabil and Pitbull who were fighting it out, but yeah, Blaze sort of came out of nowhere for me. Maybe I missed it, his progress, him making the progress, but yeah.
It looks like Kodak and Codes being the first 2 drivers to be led by the race leader, Blaze. So it looks like DSF is actually coming under pressure. He's actually putting the pressure on Axel. So the strategy actually so the very unusual strategy of Axel has actually not worked, and could be victim to the other racing star.
Yes, indeed. He's hanging on to 2nd place for the time being, and I'm pretty sure while he is slightly holding up Zvet with the dirty air, it allows Blaze to pull away. He's got a 3-second gap now to 2nd place, which is a pretty solid gap to have, especially around a track like this with only a handful of laps to go, as we are just 9 laps away from the checkered flag. Axel trying to hang on to second place with dear life, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do that on those older tyres. Remember, he's on 5-lap older tyres than the cars around him. Meanwhile, Bacon's being lapped by the pair of them.
It looks like
And
DSF is actually gotten past Axel. So as we come to the final corner, you need to have a very good apex, and then coming uphill, you need at least 200 kilometers an hour to get a good exit to the line. Yeah, I think Axel has re-overtaken DSF for second, and the advantage is by a tenth. So
Svet getting a
yeah,
bit of a better run there. Pretty much the same though. I'm impressed how Axel seemingly maximizing what he has to work with. Although through this particular session, it's a bit hard to keep up with the other car as he's now firmly behind Svet now. Perhaps still in the shot of overtaking him on the straight as he's going to have to slipstream as Kodiak is being lapped as well.
they're moving out of the way for both drivers, which is pretty that's what pretty much a lap drivers to do, move out of the way and let all the front runners come through. And looks like Jabil uh has actually made a very big breakaway from Blaze. I think Blaze might have done a little mistake, or Jabil is just maximizing the track.
So it looks like the only battle we've got right now is this battle for second place. Axel's keeping up with Zvet for now, and we've got 6 laps to go in this race right now. Second place is still possible if Axel can keep up the pressure and force Zvet into a mistake maybe. That would be interesting to see if that's speaking
Looks
of
like Axel
mistakes.
got a very, very big mistake right there.
That's going to
Just
leave
behind
some
the
of the
corner.
pressure on Sven, and I think that is game over for second place for Axel. And I think he might have to settle for third place in this one unless he can really keep up with Svet and keep on putting the pressure. But I'm not sure that he can. He's at a pretty significant disadvantage being on all the tires. But everything is possible. 5 laps to go in this race. The fight for second isn't quite over. That's another corner cut, I'm afraid. Axel really trying to push to get close again as Kodiak is trying to unlap himself. Yeah, I think Axel has lost it right there. He's making a couple of mistakes after he's really trying to... Yeah, I get the feeling. I think he made like one mistake and then really had to drive really on edge in order to have a shot at the second place again, but then made another mistake and that's pretty much game over. He just needs to not make too many mistakes and that will be P3 still for him, which will be a decent result. But I can't help but feel that he's going to be a little bit disappointed as a win was possible for him today.
So it looks like DSF is actually going to be closing the championship by 5 points, which is quite useful for this championship. And Blaze, he's very likely taking his first win of the season. Blaze has been scoring podiums for all of his races that he has attended in, which is pretty impressive for.
Yes, he's
For
shown
drivers
very
in
good
his season.
consistency this season. Indeed, 3
Oh,
podiums
and I
out of
think
3
Jabil.
appearances. Very solid and very respectable by him, of course. We are watching him trying to chase down. The gap is coming down a little bit, but with just over 2 laps to go, I don't think that would be enough to challenge Blaze for the winners' race, especially if he's going to get a little bit of slipstream from Crippy in 8th place.
It looks like he might be just, relaxing and partying because he knows that he has officially won this race, and Crippy could be lapped by Blaze.
final lap. And I saw Svet dropping back a little bit. He's gaining a bit of time, so I think Blaze is playing it safe right now, trying to secure this first place. And Svet a little bit further back, 2.5 seconds behind. Doesn't look like he's going to be much of a nuisance to his teammate in the first place, who's about to take his first win of the season. Let's have a look at Blaze in first, who is going to come around the final corner to claim his first victory in Division 2. Not weaving,
And he wins in
he's
Europe.
weaving a little bit, and he crosses the line, going across the pit wall just as Svet to make it a 1-2 with Axel claiming third place for Hartman Courts, with Jabil closely followed in fourth place. Kodiak and Bacon's finish as well, being a lap down. Blaze comes home in a respectable fifth place. Pitbull, after a good start, maybe a bit disappointed by another 6th place from him. That's the third 6th place in a row, actually. And the last contract is Crippy, who's running very wide, taking it slowly. He's got 8th place in the back since the cars behind have been lapped and they have already finished. And he's putting it in the wall. Weaving across the line, trying to make a bit of show. As he's the last contract, so the camera will obviously be on him. And there we go, that's race over. Wasn't quite the same race as we had earlier today in Division 1, but we had still a very interesting race all the way from start to flag, as we saw a strategy battle between Axel and the two Racing Star cars, but unfortunately for Axel, his one-stop gamble did not work out. So that leaves the Racing Star cars to take a 1-2. After a very fun race indeed around this very short track. I'm really enjoying the race around here. Unfortunately, this will be my last time attending a race since I'm going to be a bit busy tomorrow. Having uni stuff to deal with. So, but yeah, this track has proven so far to be a really good, really fun track to race at. Seeing the battles we've had.
So the next round will be in New Zealand, but before New Zealand at Gisborne, we have the Division 3 races coming up. Firstly, which is the Europe, Asia, and the American Cup, the Asian Cup, and the European Cup to wrap up the weekend here for this round.
Thank you everyone for watching this stream once again. We will hopefully be back. We won't be back. At least I won't be back next week. Perhaps on Sunday or next round. It's in 2 weeks actually, so that might work out. We'll have to see by then. Hopefully, we'll be back next time in 2 weeks for the race in New Zealand, driving around the Gisborne circuit, the Temple of Speed for the in the Formula Roblox franchise. We will be back in 2 weeks for that one. Meanwhile, you can keep an eye out on what the Division 3 guys will do over the course of the weekend, and keep an eye if someone else might stream those races. Anyway, that was all for today. Thank you everyone for